Last week, there were two events in Mumbai. First, Apple announcing its first ever retail store here in India, which will be in Mumbai. And secondly, the grand opening of the Nita Mukesh Ambani Cultural Center. Both these events were here in Bandra Kurla complex, which in the last 5 decades has transferred itself from a marshland into Mumbai's most popular entertainment, cultural, commercial, and residential hub. So here in today's episode of Mumbai Matters, we will be discussing Bandra Kurla complex, how it has been an urban development idea which has been successful, and also the issues that still need to be resolved. Hello and welcome to Mumbai Matters. I am Purva Chitnis. Just 30 years ago, the area between Bandra and Kurla was an empty marshland. But since then, this area, which is now called as Bandra Kurla complex, has been transformed into Mumbai's prime business hubs. This plan was conceived by Mumbai Metropolitan Region Development Authority (MMRDA). According to the MMRDA, the Modak Mayor report in 1948 first suggested developing the land in Bandra Kurla area as a new center of activity. This was done to decongest the island of Bombay and relieve the flow of traffic towards the south. After a few years of deliberation, the Bombay Development Plan 1964 also suggested the development of the area for a commercial complex. Then, even the Bombay Metropolitan Region Plan of 1970 to 1991 proposed the same idea. It was finally accepted by the Maharashtra government in 1973. Then MMRDA came into the picture for the planning and designing of the plot. This was a 370-hectare low-lying land which was a greenfield project, which means it had no constraints. That's why different blocks were designed for residential, commercial and governmental purposes. But connectivity remained a major issue in BKC even today, as there is no transport infrastructure around it. There is no ecosystem for the transport infrastructure. However, the first tenants to move into BKC were ICICI Bank and the National Stock Exchange, the NSE. But slowly, at the turn of the century, many foreign and multinationals started coming in to BKC. A decade and a half ago, the Bharat Diamond Bourse, the world's largest diamond exchange, set up shop at BKC, as well as the consulates of the UK, Australia, Belgium and the Netherlands. And finally, in 2011, the feather in the cap American consulate moved here from Rich Candy, South Mumbai. That was also the time when banking, financial services and insurance, the BFSI sector, was booming, and big multinationals like JP Morgan, Standard Chartered and HSBC, which had offices in Nariman Point, needed a bigger space, and BKC provided that. Plenty of space in BKC and its proximity to Mumbai Airport remained its key factor in BKC's growth. Meanwhile, about 2 decades ago, another business district in Lower Parel was coming up, but it was a brownfield project. It was a mill land and it also had chawls which were bought up by real estate developers, and swanky tall towers and offices and commercial hub was developed in Lower Parel. However, since it was already cluttered, there was not much scope to further improve it, and traffic remained a problem there. Nariman Point was already full, so meanwhile, BKC had options and many multinationals and many offices started coming to BKC. But its last mile connectivity remains a problem, and it still is a problem which the MMRDA is trying to solve. As the number of offices increased in the complex and infrastructure not keeping pace with it, the problem of traffic also increased. Commuters had to rely on auto rickshaws or taxis to get to and fro into the complex, and BST buses were far and few in between. But the authorities are trying to address this problem. The first few steps were building a Santa Cruz Chembur link road and a connector from Chunabatti on the Eastern Express Highway into BKC. But these roads too proved inadequate. Then the flyover at the Kalanagar junction connecting BKC to Bandra Ceiling eased traffic a bit, and then another flyover from Santa Cruz Chembur link road to BKC will further improve the situation. The BST buses, which are filled beyond capacity during peak hours, and since there is no other public transport avenue just yet, the authorities are planning metro lines into BKC. The upcoming metro lines that will pass through BKC, once they are completed, will improve the situation greatly. The complex also has residential areas, and real estate companies have been marketing it as a prime location which has top-notch schools, hospitals and also a good connectivity. The complex is also a go-to destination for high-end restaurants, and according to MMRDA, the complex provides jobs to more than 2 lakh people. Well, that's all we have for you in this episode of Mumbai Matters. For more such episodes, keep watching The Print. I'm Purva Chitnis at The Print.